Have you ever felt like there's something more to the world than meets the eye? A deeper layer to reality that we can't quite grasp, but that seems to shape everything we do, everything we believe? If you have, you're not alone. Carl Jung, one of the most profound and misunderstood thinkers of the 20th century, once said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes." But what if the awakening Jung spoke of is not just a metaphor? What if it's a literal truth, hidden from the masses, carefully concealed by those in power because it threatens the very foundation of how we understand ourselves, society, and the universe? For decades, Jung's ideas have been categorized as out there, too mystical, too complex, or even too dangerous to fully explore. But hidden within his work lies a secret so profound, so transformative, that it could change the way you perceive everything about yourself, your life, and the world around you. And it's a secret that they've tried to keep from you. The implications of Jung's discoveries go far beyond psychology. They challenge the core of what we know about consciousness, perception, and our collective reality. But why has this knowledge been buried? Why does it feel like every time someone tries to reveal the depth of Jung's findings, they're met with resistance, ridicule, or even censorship? Is it because these revelations hold the power to unlock the hidden potential within everyone of us, potential that once realized could disrupt the very systems that have controlled us for centuries? What if the key to understanding your true self, to seeing the world in its purest form, has been in front of you all along, and all it takes is a deeper dive into Jung's radical vision of the human psyche? This isn't just about psychology or self-help. This is about understanding the secrets of existence itself. And believe me, once you glimpse this hidden truth, nothing will ever be the same again. Stay with me as we delve into this astonishing, mysterious secret. A secret that's been concealed, manipulated, and distorted to keep you from seeing the truth. Are you ready to unearth what they don't want you to know? Because once you do, you will never look at the world the same way again. Have you ever experienced a moment where you feel that something within you is controlling your actions? Something deeper than your conscious thoughts? Perhaps even guiding your decisions and desires without you fully understanding it? This isn't just a fleeting sensation. It's a fundamental truth that Carl Jung, one of the most visionary thinkers of the 20th century, uncovered about the human psyche. He proposed that beneath the surface of our everyday awareness lies a vast, powerful force, the unconscious mind. And within this unconscious lies a secret so profound and so universal that it holds the key to understanding ourselves, the world, and our very existence. For Jung, the unconscious wasn't merely a passive repository of forgotten memories or suppressed desires. It was a dynamic and active part of our psyche, constantly influencing and shaping our experiences, thoughts, and behaviors. In fact, Jung suggested that much of what we consider to be our conscious reality is, in fact, an illusion. Our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions of the world are often guided by an unseen, underlying current that originates in the unconscious. But what exactly is this unconscious force, and why has it been kept hidden from you for so long? Jung's concept of the unconscious can be broken down into two distinct but interconnected levels: the personal unconscious and the collective unconscious. The personal unconscious, as the name suggests, is unique to each individual. It is made up of everything that you've experienced, the memories, feelings, and instincts that have been pushed below the surface of your conscious awareness. These are the elements of your life that you may have forgotten or repressed, but continue to influence your behavior in subtle ways. Every decision you make, every relationship you form, is colored by the memories, traumas, and desires stored in your personal unconscious. The real game changer, however, is the collective unconscious. This is a concept that separates Jung's theories from traditional psychology. While most psychologists believed the unconscious to be a personal phenomenon, confined to an individual's life experiences, Jung argued that there exists a universal layer of the unconscious that connects all human beings. The collective unconscious, according to Jung, is not a product of personal experience, but an inherited, shared reservoir of symbols, archetypes, and patterns that have existed for millennia. It is a treasure trove of wisdom, myths, and instincts, passed down through generations, transcending time, culture, and individual life experiences. In essence, the collective unconscious is the unseen foundation of human experience. It's why myths, legends, and religious stories from cultures across the world share strikingly similar themes and symbols. It's why certain patterns of behavior, like the desire for power, love, and transformation, seem to echo across time and space, influencing our decisions and actions in ways we don't fully understand. And perhaps most importantly, it's why certain archetypes, such as the hero, the shadow, and the wise old man, recur across all of human storytelling. But why is this so important? Why does understanding the unconscious, both personal and collective, hold the key to unlocking hidden potential within you? The answer lies in the immense power that lies within the unconscious. Because so much of our thoughts, emotions, and actions are shaped by unconscious forces, gaining access to this hidden realm allows us to reclaim control over our lives. Imagine being able to unlock the secret desires, fears, and memories that drive you. Imagine being able to consciously work with the unconscious to shape your thoughts, actions, and emotions in a more purposeful way. That's the power Jung was talking about. However, this knowledge is not without its risks. The more you understand about the unconscious, the more you realize just how much of your reality is being guided by these hidden forces. This is where the real danger lies. The more you understand the mechanisms of your own mind, the more difficult it becomes to be controlled by outside forces, whether they be societal expectations, political structures, or cultural norms. And this is exactly why understanding the unconscious is something that has often been suppressed or ignored. It threatens the very foundations upon which our modern world is built. The systems of control that govern our societies, whether they be economic, political, or social, are based on the idea that the majority of people remain unaware of their unconscious mind. If people were to realize how deeply their unconscious is shaping their perceptions and actions, it would disrupt the balance of power. It would free individuals from the external forces that shape their behaviors and decisions, and empower them to make choices that are more aligned with their true selves. And this is a power that those in control do not want you to have. For example, think about how advertising, media, and political campaigns often prey upon unconscious desires, fears, and anxieties. They don't just appeal to your rational mind, they tap into the deep-seated instincts and archetypes that govern human behavior. By understanding these unconscious processes, they can manipulate your choices without you even realizing it. This is why the discovery and understanding of the unconscious mind is not only an individual journey towards self-awareness and personal empowerment, but also a threat to systems of control. So, what can you do with this knowledge? First, it's important to acknowledge that you are not merely a passive observer of your life. You are not just a spectator to your own existence, responding to external circumstances as they come. You are an active participant in the creation of your reality, shaped both by your conscious thoughts and the unconscious forces that run beneath the surface. The first step to gaining true control over your life is to begin recognizing the ways in which your unconscious mind is influencing your decisions. Start by observing your patterns of behavior, your automatic reactions to certain situations, your emotional responses to specific people or events. These reactions are not always under your conscious control. They are often deeply embedded in your unconscious, shaped by past experiences, traumas, and even collective human history. By bringing awareness to these unconscious patterns, you can begin to unravel the influence they have on your life. Next, Jung suggests working with the unconscious through techniques like dream analysis, active imagination, and creative expression. Dreams, for instance, are one of the most direct ways the unconscious communicates with us. They are filled with symbols and archetypes that, when properly understood, can reveal deep insights into your psyche. Active imagination is another tool. Jung developed to bridge the gap between the conscious and unconscious mind, allowing you to engage with your inner world and explore its mysteries. By integrating the unconscious into your conscious awareness, you begin to unlock the hidden potential within yourself. You gain access to a wellspring of creativity, wisdom, and self-understanding that can transform the way you experience the world. And once you understand how the unconscious shapes your reality, you can begin to consciously direct it rather than being controlled by it. The power of the unconscious is not something to be feared, but rather embraced. It is a source of untapped potential waiting to be discovered. And once you realize how deeply it influences your life, you will begin to see the world in an entirely new light. Imagine for a moment that within your mind there are timeless, universal figures, deeply embedded in your psyche, influencing your thoughts, decisions, and actions. These figures are not products of your personal experiences, nor are they limited to any particular time or place. They are universal patterns, shaped by the collective unconscious, that govern your perceptions and behavior in ways you may not even recognize. These are the archetypes, one of Carl Jung's most profound and revolutionary discoveries. Archetypes are primordial images, symbols, and patterns that exist in the collective unconscious and represent fundamental human experiences. They are deeply ingrained in our psychology and appear in the myths, legends, religions, and cultures of every society across history. But the most startling part of Jung's theory is that these archetypes are not just abstract concepts. They are part of our biological and psychological inheritance. They shape how we see the world, how we relate to others, and how we evolve over the course of our lives. Jung's discovery of the archetypes was a departure from the psychological theories of his time. While traditional psychology focused largely on conscious individual experiences, Jung recognized that the unconscious mind was shared by all of humanity. The archetypes in the collective unconscious are not personal, but universal. They are patterns of experience and behavior that transcend time, culture, and personal history. In essence, archetypes are the mental blueprints that all humans draw upon in navigating the world. So, what exactly are these archetypes, and how do they manifest in our lives? One of the most well-known archetypes is the hero. The hero archetype represents the part of us that embarks on a journey of transformation. It's the aspect of our psyche that desires growth, overcoming challenges, and seeking to make a difference. The hero is seen in countless stories, whether in ancient myths or modern superhero films, always striving to conquer adversity and emerge stronger. But the hero is not just an external figure, it resides within us. It's the part of us that pushes forward even when the odds seem impossible, that reaches for the unknown, that risks everything for a greater purpose. And it is through the hero's journey that we find our own path to self-realization. But every hero must face the shadow, another central archetype. The shadow is the darker, repressed side of our personality. Those aspects of ourselves that we deny, suppress, or refuse to acknowledge. It represents the parts of our psyche that we're afraid to confront. Our fears, our insecurities, our guilt, and even our hidden desires. In many ways, the shadow is what we hide from the world and often from ourselves. Yet, Jung argued that the shadow is not inherently evil. It is simply the repressed parts of the self, and it must be integrated into consciousness for true psychological growth. Ignoring or rejecting the shadow can lead to inner conflict and self-doubt, but confronting it can lead to profound personal transformation. Another archetype that plays a crucial role in our lives is the anima, animus. The anima represents the feminine aspects of a man's psyche, while the animus represents the masculine aspects of a woman's psyche. These archetypes transcend gender. They reflect the balance of masculine and feminine energies within every individual. The anima and animus are responsible for shaping our relationships with the opposite sex, our capacity for creativity, and our ability to reconcile opposing forces within ourselves. For men, the anima often appears as an idealized image of the feminine, while for women, the animus manifests as an idealized image of masculinity. The relationship we have with these archetypes can deeply affect our romantic relationships and our capacity to integrate both the masculine and feminine aspects of ourselves. There are many more archetypes, each of which represents different aspects of the human experience. The wise old man symbolizes wisdom, guidance, and spiritual insight, while the mother archetype embodies nurturing, protection, and unconditional love. The trickster is the mischievous figure who challenges our assumptions and breaks down rigid structures, often leading us toward new insights and perspectives. But here's the question. Why should we care about these archetypes? Why is it important to understand these universal patterns that seem to govern human behavior and experience? The answer lies in the immense power that these archetypes hold over us. The archetypes are not just abstract, distant concepts. They are active, living forces within our unconscious mind. Whether we are aware of them or not, they are guiding our thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, often without our conscious permission. For example, when you are faced with a life challenge or a difficult decision, the hero archetype may emerge, pushing you to confront your fears and take action. But in the process, the shadow archetype may also appear, forcing you to confront parts of yourself that you've long avoided. The balance between these opposing forces within you determines how you navigate life's challenges and how you evolve as an individual. But the problem arises when we remain unconscious of these archetypal forces at work. Most people live their lives in a state of ignorance, unaware of the ways these powerful patterns influence their choices. The hero may strive for greatness, but without integrating the shadow, the journey could lead to arrogance, self-destruction, or unresolved inner conflict. The anima or animus may dictate how we relate to others, but if we are unaware of its influence, we may fall into toxic or unbalanced relationships. This is where Jung's message becomes incredibly relevant. He argued that the way to achieve psychological and spiritual growth is through the process of individuation, the journey of becoming whole by integrating the unconscious aspects of the psyche. Individuation is the process by which we bring the unconscious into conscious awareness, allowing us to confront and understand the archetypes that guide our lives. This journey of self-awareness and self-acceptance is what ultimately leads to inner peace and wholeness. But why has this knowledge been suppressed or hidden from us? The truth is, if people were to truly understand the power of the archetypes, the implications would be immense. To understand that your life is governed by deep universal forces beyond your control would be a liberating realization. It would mean that your reality is not fixed, but rather a dynamic interplay between conscious will and unconscious patterns. It would mean that you have the ability to transform your life, not by changing external circumstances, but by understanding and integrating the hidden forces at play within you. The systems that govern modern society, political, economic, and cultural, rely on the idea that most people remain unaware of these unconscious forces. They know that if individuals awaken to the power of the archetypes, it would undermine the status quo. Imagine if people were to realize that the very roles they play in society, the hero, the victim, the leader, the follower, are all archetypal roles that can be consciously chosen and shaped. The capacity for self-empowerment and personal transformation would disrupt the control these systems have over the masses. So, what do you do with this knowledge? How can understanding the archetypes change your life? The first step is simply to recognize their presence. Begin observing the recurring patterns in your life, how you react to certain situations, the people you attract, the roles you tend to play. Are you constantly drawn to the hero's journey, seeking adventure and transformation? Are you avoiding the shadow, suppressing parts of yourself you fear? Are you unconsciously projecting your own anima or animus onto your relationships? By consciously engaging with these archetypes, you can begin to take control of the unconscious patterns that govern your life. You no longer have to be a passive participant in your own story. Instead, you can become the conscious author of your journey, choosing which archetypes to embrace, integrate, and embody. In the end, understanding the archetypes is not just about intellectual knowledge, it's about gaining mastery over your own life. By recognizing the universal forces at play within you, you can harness their power to transform your reality and ultimately become the person you were always meant to be. As you've learned by now, Carl Jung's exploration of the unconscious, along with the archetypes that dwell within it, reveals a profound secret about what it truly means to be human. The unconscious is not just a hidden part of our minds. It's a powerful force that shapes our experiences, drives our decisions, and governs much of our reality. But perhaps the most transformative aspect of Jung's work lies in the process of individuation, the journey toward self-actualization and wholeness. And it's through this journey that we come to understand the full potential of our being. Individuation is the term Jung used to describe the process of becoming one's true self, of integrating the unconscious with the conscious mind and aligning all parts of the psyche. It's not simply about achieving personal goals or improving one's mental state. Individuation is the process of uncovering the hidden aspects of yourself, the parts that have been repressed, ignored, or forgotten, and bringing them into harmony with your conscious identity. You see, we are all born with an innate wholeness, an integrated self that is connected to the unconscious, to the archetypes, and to the collective human experience. But as we grow and navigate life, societal pressures, personal fears, and unconscious patterns often push us away from that wholeness. We become fragmented, disconnected from our true essence. And this fragmentation is what leads to inner conflict, dissatisfaction, and a feeling of being lost or incomplete. Jung argued that individuation is the key to resolving this conflict. It's about reconciling the various aspects of the self, the conscious and the unconscious, the light and the shadow, the masculine and the feminine, and integrating them into a unified whole. Through this process, we don't just learn who we are. We come into contact with the deepest, most authentic parts of our being. We reconnect with our true nature and realize the immense potential that lies within us. But the path to individuation is not easy. It requires us to face our deepest fears, to confront the darkest parts of ourselves, and to surrender our illusions of control. Jung believed that individuation involves a confrontation with the self, the ultimate integrated version of our being that exists beyond ego, beyond the individual personality, and beyond societal conditioning. This confrontation is often difficult, filled with moments of doubt, pain, and disorientation. But it's through these challenges that we find our greatest strength and wisdom. To embark on the journey of individuation is to commit to a life of continuous self-discovery, growth, and transformation. It's not a one-time event, but a lifelong process that evolves as we deepen our understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. And it's through individuation that we unlock the power to live authentically, to break free from the constraints of the unconscious mind, and to realize the vast potential that exists within each of us. Now, as you sit with this knowledge, you might be wondering, how do I begin? How can I embark on this transformative journey and begin the process of individuation? The first step is awareness, acknowledging that there is more to you than what you see in the mirror. It's recognizing that you are not just the person you appear to be. You are a complex, multidimensional being, shaped by your personal history, your unconscious mind, and the archetypal forces that influence your life. Begin by looking within. Observe your thoughts, your feelings, and your behaviors with curiosity and openness. Pay attention to the recurring patterns in your life, the relationships that seem to repeat themselves, the challenges that arise again and again, the dreams and symbols that surface in your subconscious. These are all signals from your unconscious mind, pointing you toward the hidden aspects of yourself that need to be explored and integrated. And as you explore your inner world, remember that the journey of individuation is not a solitary one. It's a deeply personal process, but it's also universal. Jung believed that we are all connected through the collective unconscious, and by understanding our own journey, we are also contributing to the collective growth of humanity. The more we integrate the unconscious and confront the archetypal forces within, the more we move toward wholeness, not just as individuals, but as a collective species. Through individuation, you begin to realize that the person you were meant to be has always been inside you, waiting to be discovered. The unconscious mind, with its symbols, archetypes, and mysteries, holds the key to unlocking your true potential. And by embarking on the path of self-awareness and integration, you can awaken to a reality where you are no longer controlled by hidden forces, but are fully aligned with your authentic self. Conclusion: the power of self-discovery and transformation. Now that you have uncovered some of the deepest secrets of Carl Jung's work, you might be feeling a sense of wonder, a spark of curiosity about what lies within your own unconscious mind. The truth is, this journey of self-discovery and transformation is just beginning. The secrets you've learned are not simply abstract ideas. They are powerful tools that can change the way you live, think, and experience the world. But the only way to truly unlock these tools is by diving deeper into your own unconscious, exploring the archetypes that govern your life, and embracing the process of individuation. It's time to take control of your story. Stop being a passive participant in the drama of your own life. The unconscious mind, with all its mysteries, is not something to fear. It is a treasure chest waiting to be unlocked. And you, as the conscious explorer, are the key holder. If you're ready to begin this transformative journey, to uncover the hidden parts of your psyche, and to integrate the powerful forces within you, then now is the moment to act. But it doesn't end here. If this video has sparked something within you, I encourage you to continue exploring the teachings of Carl Jung and delve even deeper into the unconscious mind. The more you learn, the more you will begin to see how these ideas can reshape your reality. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden mysteries of the human mind. Share your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear how these concepts are resonating with you. And don't forget to hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos that will continue to unlock the secrets that shape your life. This journey of self-discovery is just the beginning. The power to transform your reality is already within you. Now, it's time to begin the process of awakening. Like, comment, subscribe, begin your journey now.